Despite sanctions, the regime is still exporting well over 1.4 million barrels of oil every single day. Now, if the global price of oil is $80 a barrel, Iran is selling it at a discount that brings it to about $60 or $65 a barrel. That means the regime earns approximately $100 million per day, every 24 hours, and none of it is going to the Iranian people. It doesn't rebuild hospitals. It doesn't fix the collapsing water system. It doesn't help families who cannot afford bread due to 40 to 50% inflation. This money goes straight to the regime's military system and its proxy terror network. And how does Iran get away with this while supposedly being under sanctions? It's because the regime has spent 4 decades building a global sanctions evasion machine, a perfected criminal economy run by the IRGC. They operate one of the largest illegal shipping networks on the planet. Analysts call it the Ghost Fleet. These are more than 300 old and, frankly, unreliable tankers that constantly change their names, fake their flag registrations, turn off their tracking systems, and vanish from radar. They perform ship-to-ship transfers in the middle of the ocean, usually at night. They repaint the hulls. They falsify documents. They spoof coordinates. Some of these vessels even travel with navigation systems turned off, which, of course, is incredibly dangerous, simply to avoid detection. And where does all this oil go? Almost all of it goes to China. China is the financial lifeline of the Islamic Republic. Chinese refiners buy discounted Iranian crude that is marketed as Malaysian blend or Oman heavy or generic fuel oil. This is not speculation. It's thoroughly documented by Reuters, tanker trackers, and multiple United States Treasury designations. So to summarize, the regime sells illegal oil, China knowingly buys illegal oil, and the world pretends not to notice because cheap oil benefits everyone except the Iranian people and all those who suffer from the terrorism that this regime exports. Now let's talk about where that money actually goes. Once the regime gets paid, likely through restricted Chinese accounts, the funds are controlled by the IRGC. The Revolutionary Guards and the Quds Force command these revenue streams through networks of front companies and, allegedly, through the giant construction and logistics conglomerate known as Khatam al-Anbiya. The money is then distributed across the regime's terror portfolio. Now, according to U.S. intelligence assessments, congressional research reports, and U.S. Treasury designations, Hezbollah receives an estimated $700 million to $1 billion per year. The Houthis in Yemen receive between $150 and $250 million. Iraqi militias receive between $100 million and $200 million. And Hamas receives an estimated $70 to $100 million each year, in addition to weapons, training, intelligence support, and engineering assistance for rockets and drone systems. So when people ask how Hezbollah keeps stockpiling rockets, or how the Houthis continue firing ballistic missiles, or how the Islamic Republic continues to expand its nuclear program despite sanctions, the answer is simple. The Islamic Republic of Iran is still making money every single day, and sanctions are not being enforced. There are 5 major pressure points that could crush the regime's revenue stream without firing a single shot. First, target the Ghost Fleet. Don't sanction ship names, which can be changed. Instead, sanction the hull numbers, which cannot be changed. If the United States and European Union banned 200 hull numbers from receiving insurance or entering ports, half of Iran's export capacity would collapse instantly. Second, go after the Chinese refineries that knowingly purchase Iranian crude. These facilities depend on Western equipment and Western financing. If even 3 of them were sanctioned, the entire network could collapse. Third, hit the front companies. Most of these firms in Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, and the UAE will collapse the moment they're listed by the U.S. Treasury. 4, seize ships again. When the United States captured the giant tanker known as Grace 1, it disrupted the regime's smuggling operations for months. Repeated seizures could deter the entire network. 5, cyber disruption. The IRGC uses specific Chinese bank accounts, cryptocurrency wallets, and payment pipelines for its oil trade. Cyber operations targeting these channels can cripple the entire machine. This is how you can collapse the Islamic Republic's financial backbone without a war, and how you force the regime to choose between funding terror proxies and surviving internally. The Islamic Republic is not sanctioned in practice, it's sanctioned on paper. And the moment the world chooses to enforce those sanctions with real consequences, Iran's financial lifeline ends.